What is specialty coffee? Hey, this is Randy from Drinklings Coffee and Mugs, located just south of Lexington, Kentucky. Over the years that we've been doing roasting, we've gotten a number of questions that we're introducing in our Coffee 101 school. But one of the most routine ones that we get is the question, what even is specialty coffee? We might call this artisan coffee or third wave coffee or bougie coffee. My favorite years ago was a customer who called us, quote, Portland coffee, and criticized us because she believed that specialty coffee was all about high prices and exploiting people in lower classes, that it was a form of capitalist domination. Okay. Specialty coffee, really, let's just say when we best understand it, is more known for what it isn't instead of what it is. It's kind of like good bread or good beer. What often is believed to be special or artisan or bougie is really just the real thing. Unmechanized, uncommoditized, non-industrialized. You see, in the world of coffee, there are two types of coffee. Actually, that's not quite accurate. Depending on how you talk about it, there's a whole lot of different types of coffee. But when you think about quality and cost and how coffee is bought, they typically fall into two different categories. The first is commodity coffee. This is coffee that is typically highly mechanized. There's not a concern for bean maturity. It's mass produced, it's heavily blended. It often contains defects and is really known for being pretty poor quality. And importantly, this kind of coffee represents about 97% of the coffee market. This is why you see coffee sold at two different prices based on whether you're buying it from the grocery store or from a local roaster. Its eye is on volume, not on quality. In fact, as one coffee farmer in Puerto Rico told me, he said, this approach towards coffee has one strategy and one strategy only: to buy it up, use it up, and close it up. Alternatively, specialty coffee represents about 3% of the market. It is special not because it is locally roasted, although it usually is, or because it carries a higher price point, which admittedly it typically does. Specialty coffee is special because it's higher in quality. It emphasizes traceability, and it prioritizes the uniqueness of where the coffee comes from and wants to showcase the unique tastes and differences. Think of the difference between commodity coffee and specialty coffee as the difference between, let's say, someone who is selling you apples, you know, those ones that you get from the grocery store. They all look the same, they kind of all taste like cardboard, and apples that you might pick from an orchard, or ones that you might buy based on their different varieties: Pink Lady, Gala apples, Honeycrisp apples, etc., etc. And this kind of demonstrates an important fact about specialty coffee. It is coffee that simply hasn't caved to the demands of a utilitarian mass production uniformity culture. Specialty coffee is probably actually best thought of as a form of resistance to those things, which kind of makes what the lady accused us of earlier as being capitalist snobs a little backwards in her thinking. Now, there are, however, some specific traits that a roaster thinks about when they think about specialty coffee beyond how it's bought. And we typically focus on three particular things. Number one, quality beans. Number two, taste and profile. And number three, ethics in our sourcing. So number one, specialty coffee focuses on sourcing quality beans. We try to avoid defective coffee. We try to avoid buying coffee that is harvested before it is ready, or coffee that is grown at low altitudes for the sake of efficiency. Specialty coffee, in fact, must score between an 80 and 100 rating on the SCA, that's short for the Specialty Coffee Association, and on their grading scale. This focus on quality is also what drives many roasters to avoid blending cheap, low-grade coffee with other beans. Now, I can tell you, if you've ever been to a grocery store and you bought a bag of Kona coffee or Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee and you got it for $10.99, I can virtually guarantee you that it's been blended pretty heavily with non-specialized coffee. But specialty coffee producers largely purchase Arabica beans, not cheap Robusta beans, and we typically try to highlight different coffees from different parts of the world, like Ethiopia and Haiti and Papua New Guinea. We also focus extensively on taste and profile. You know how big corporate chains make money? Well, we know that they do this through a lot of questionable means, but one of the ways that they make money is by ensuring that their product is uniform, store to store to store. And this means you have to eliminate variety, you have to eliminate distinction. This franchise model is required to ensure that every customer gets the exact same experience. And for an agricultural item like coffee, this means doing one thing in particular: roasting it dark and eliminating the natural and variable taste that distinguish one cup from the next, or much of the coffee world, one region of coffee from another. Specialty coffee roasters, by contrast, they want you to experience coffee from all over the world. An Ethiopian Yirgacheffe, which is oftentimes a very fruity coffee, is very different than a Sulawesi coffee, which can be very earthy. In fact, even coffees from the same regions like Ethiopia and Indonesia can have widely diverse tasting profiles associated with their beans. Think of it like, instead of a box of red wine that is just a box of red wine, getting different bottles of wine where you can pull out all sorts of different qualities that all still fall under the category of red wine. And thirdly, there is a concern for ethical sourcing. There are a variety of models at play when it comes to the best way to source coffee. You probably have heard of fair trade. There's also things like direct trade or transparent trade, and some other models that are around. The stated goal in all these models is simple and pretty uniform, though. We want to ensure that farmers globally receive fair and sustainable wages. Nearly half the world's small coffee farmers live in poverty, with nearly a quarter of them living in extreme poverty. The history of coffee from its origins to modern day boasts a host of human and economic injustices, and so buying coffee with ethics is one of the most practical ways of fighting poverty. So you can call that special if you'd like. So my encouragement and hope to you is not that you think about specialty coffee as somehow special in a negative sense. It is only special by what we have normalized culturally and globally. Specialty coffee is in fact what coffee should be, what it originally was. It has a focus on quality, it has a focus on taste, and it has a focus on ethics.